Good morning. Welcome to our daily devotion. It is Tuesday, May 25th. Can you believe this month is coming to an end? My goodness. I want to thank those of you that continue to watch these videos. I want to thank those of you that are supporting my ministry. God bless you people. I trust me. God will repay you 100-fold. Good morning, Elroy. Good to have you watching. We're in Matthew chapter 22, and I'm going to be reading verses 41 through 46. It says, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, "What do you think about the Christ? Whose son is he?" "The son of David," they replied. He said to them, "How is it then that David, speaking by the Spirit, calls him Lord? For he says, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet.' If then David, who calls him Lord, how can he be his son?" No one could say a word in reply, and from that day on, no one dared to ask him any more questions. So the Pharisees, interesting, the Pharisees still didn't know who Jesus was. Even after everything that he did, everything that he said, everything that he taught, they still didn't know who Jesus was. They thought the Christ, the anointed one, would come from the son of David. Yet Jesus tells them that even David called him Lord. It's interesting that even today now, good morning, Mary. Morning, Marcy. Morning, John. Even today, over 90% of the world does not know who Jesus is. Just think of that now. All of you watching this right now, you know who Jesus is. You know, morning, Lily. You know who Jesus is. Yet over 90% of the world does not know who Jesus is. So how will they ever know? How will they ever know? I've read these verses to you many times, but let me read them again. It says, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. If those 90% of the world would call on Jesus, they would be saved. Morning, Ryan. How then can they call on the one they've not believed in? Question mark. And how can they believe in the one of whom they have not heard? Question mark. And how can they hear without someone telling them? Question mark. And then it says, and how can they preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Verse 15, how beautiful are those of you that are willing to share the good news. Morning, Christina. So what keeps us from sharing our faith? Let me just give you some reasons that why people don't share their faith, okay? The number one reason by far is just fear. They're afraid to do it. They're afraid of losing a friend, afraid of maybe offending of someone, afraid of maybe some tension that it might cause, afraid of rejection. They're just afraid. Yet, I shared this with you before, but let me share this with you again now, okay? I can share this with you from total experience, all right? I have shared my faith. I have told someone how to become a Christian literally thousands of times in my life. When I count all the messages that I gave, where people gave, where I shared how to become a Christian. I've done it one-on-one. I can remember years ago, this young girl in high school brought a friend with her, and we went to I don't know if it was a hamburger place or somewhere, and because she wanted me to tell her friend how to become a Christian. And I remember sitting there with the two of them and sharing how to become a Christian, and I remember praying and the young girl accepting the Lord. But here's what's interesting now. I have yet had anybody that said, I don't want to hear that. Or someone that said, oh man, stay away from Jim. He's going to be telling you about his faith. I haven't had that. Even when we were doing outreach, when I was a youth pastor at Rosewood Church, we were doing it, you've heard me share about this, where we were using secular bands to bring unbelievers into the church, and we would get 200 to 300 high school age youth coming to church to hear the bands. They were not saved. They were not saved. And they would come in, and then I would share the gospel message with them. 300 unsaved youth sitting in front of me, and I'm sharing the gospel. And it was interesting. When some of them started to act up a little bit, I didn't even have to say anything. Others in the crowd would turn around and say, "Hey, be quiet, Jim's talking." Like they literally wanted to hear what I had to say. And every week there'd be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 young people give their life to the Lord. We had to start a youth group to follow. We met on Wednesday nights, Wednesday at Rosewood. And on Thursday then, it was Bill Garner that led it. We started a Bible study group for those that gave their life to the Lord. We called it Insight. And that group just kept growing and growing. And it's interesting. I see many of them on Facebook and social media today, and they're still walking with the Lord. Some of them even got into ministry. Some of them married people in ministry. So I share this with you so that you don't have fear. But God put within every one of us, He built into us a desire to know Him. It's just built into people. And so when you share about Jesus, about God, there's a genuine interest inside of people that they're not even aware of, about knowing who their Creator is. So don't let fear keep you from sharing your gospel, your faith. And then the second one is that people feel ill-equipped. I don't even know what I would say. Or they're afraid that people would ask them hard questions that they couldn't answer. Don't be afraid of that. I've had many times where I've shared faith and then they asked me a hard question and I had to be honest with them and say, I'll be honest with you, I don't have an answer to that question. Let me go and dig in, and I'll try to come up with an answer, and I'll get back to you. But I'm honest with him that I honestly don't have an answer to it. But a lot of people just feel like I don't even know what to say. Well, here's what I tell people. How did you become a Christian? How did you first become a Christian? Because if it worked for you, it'll work for that person you're talking to. And the third one is, a lot of people, they don't even look for opportunities. They just go, life is so busy, they just go through life and they don't even think that they're friends with someone that's not a Christian. They've been friends with them for years and they don't even once think about ever sharing the gospel with them. That's why I'm doing this video right now, to make you aware of the fact that you have family and friends that are not saved. You look for opportunities to share your faith. Here's the one I get an awful lot of. I'm just too shy. I'm a shy person. I'm just too shy to do that. Yet, your shyness doesn't keep you talking about other things with your friends. When you get together with them, do you just sit there and not say anything? I'll guarantee you talk, you carry on conversations. So if you're not too shy to talk about politics, to talk about sports, to talk about cooking, to talk about children, then why not talk about Jesus? And then another one is people say that, well, I don't want to seem pushy. I don't want to push Christianity on them. Well, think of this now. Think of this. If they don't give their life to the Lord, they're destined for eternity to be separated from God in a place called hell with Satan and his demons. You don't think there's a need to be pushy? I think so. Let me share. I shared this with people before. It would be like your friend or your family member, whoever it is that doesn't know the Lord. It'd be like, let's just say they got bit by a snake and it is fatal. They're going to die within minutes because this is a dangerous snake. And you have the venom. And you say to your friend, hey, you've just been bitten by a snake. And they say, no, I haven't. No, I wasn't. Yeah, you're going to die if you don't. I got this venom. If you don't take it, I don't need that. I don't need that. Are you just going to say, all right, fine, don't say I didn't warn you? Is that what you're going to do? I'll guarantee you, you are going to insist they take that venom. If you have to, you're going to hold them down and put it in them. Otherwise, they're going to die. And that's just a physical death. Well, think about a spiritual death. A death that has consequences for eternity, not just for a lifetime. Don't be concerned about being pushy. It's a message they need to hear. And then the last one is people don't share their faith because they struggle with their own faith. They say, well, who am I to share my faith? My God, if they see my sins, they see what I'm doing. They struggle. You struggle with their own faith. Well, to that I say, then get your faith strong. Make your faith stronger so that you can go out there and share your faith with others. It's not a matter of life and death. It's a matter of eternity. Eternity. Forever and ever and ever. Let me close with this. Jesus said this. We've already looked at it in our Bible, in our devotions. But he said to the disciples, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. There's 90% of the world that doesn't know about Jesus, but there's so few people, so few workers willing to tell them. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field. That's what I'm asking you to do. Go into the harvest field and share your faith. People need to hear it, and listen to this. People actually want to hear it. I've discovered that. And the thousands of people that I've shared my faith with, they genuinely want to hear it. It's built into them. So I hope this challenges you the next time you have an opportunity just to share your faith. Just share what it means to you. And if they're interested and they start asking questions, then you can start telling them how they can become a Christian. God bless you. Have a great morning. I trust you, many of you will share this so other Christians can hear this, so they can be motivated. And then I'll see you tomorrow morning again for our next daily devotion. Tonight is Impact. If you have children, ages kindergarten through 5th grade, we meet from 6:30 to 7:30 at the same church where we now meet on Sundays. God bless you. Have a great day.